At the central train station, morning usually arrived like a familiar melody, footsteps overlapping, wheels rattling against marble floors, announcements echoing through high ceilings, and voices blending into the kind of noise people stopped noticing years ago. But that morning, something about the air felt different. Officer Mark had patrolled these halls for nearly a decade. He knew the patterns when travelers rushed, when they slowed, when someone was lost, and when someone wasn't telling the truth. Years of watching eyes, hands, shoulders, and posture had trained him to read danger even before danger introduced itself. Beside him walked Rex's canine partner, his shadow, his shield, his instinct outside his own instinct. Rex wasn't just trained, he was born for this work. A strong German shepherd with amber eyes that saw more than the human world admitted existed, ears that could hear fear even when words remained silent, and a heart that had never once refused a call for help. Mark adjusted his cap as they walked past a cluster of commuters, a man sipping coffee, a woman soothing her crying baby, a group of tourists laughing too loudly. Everything looked normal, completely normal. But Rex didn't walk like it was normal. His tail was low, his steps slow. His head slightly tilted, listening to something Mark couldn't hear, seeing something Mark couldn't see. The leash trembled faintly with the tension in the dog's muscles. "Easy boy," Mark murmured, though his voice held the kind of caution he rarely used. Rex wasn't distracted, and he wasn't excited. This wasn't curiosity, this was instinct. They reached the main atrium, the place where light from the glass ceiling poured over travelers like a spotlight. Rex stopped, completely, frozen in place. Mark's breath hitched. Rex didn't freeze unless something was wrong. The shepherd's ears flicked sharply. His chest rose with a slow, deliberate inhale. And then he turned his head toward the crowd as if his entire world had narrowed into one single direction. "Rex," Mark whispered, but Rex wasn't listening to him anymore. He was listening to something else. Something hidden, something quiet. Something only a dog like him could hear. And whatever it was, it just changed the entire day. People rushed more quickly, announcements rolled over each other, children chattered, and the entire terminal pulsed with movement. But Rex was no longer following the movement of the crowd. He was following one person, a woman in a bright blue coat. She walked briskly, her posture too controlled, her eyes too focused. 3 children followed her, 2 older siblings staying close, and one youngest girl trailing slightly behind. Her hand trapped in the woman's grip. To anyone else, they looked like any ordinary traveling family. But Rex's gaze locked not on the woman, not on the family as a whole, but on the little girl. A small figure with light brown hair, a toy squeezed tightly in her hand, and eyes that didn't match the scene around her. She didn't look excited, or curious, or even shy. Her steps weren't clumsy, they were hesitant, calculated, quiet, the way someone walks when they're trying not to be noticed. And then Mark finally saw it. The girl lifted her trembling hand, tapped her mother's back 5 times. 5 soft, rapid taps. A pause, then 5 taps again. Mark blinked, child's gesture. Innocent, maybe. But Rex reacted like he'd been struck by lightning. His muscles turned rigid, his ears pushed forward. His posture sharpened like a blade, and a deep rumble rolled through his chest. Growl so low, only Mark felt it through the leash. "What is it, buddy?" Mark whispered. Rex didn't blink, didn't breathe, didn't move. He had just read that tiny signal the way a human reads a scream. Mark's heart tightened. Could it really be? A silent cry? He watched as the girl looked around, not wildly, but with small, desperate glances, eyes searching, pleading. She tapped again, 5 times. Mark felt a cold wave rush through him. Rex took 1 step forward, pulling the leash like a force of nature guiding him. Mark followed the movement, because Rex had never been wrong. Signal only Rex understood. Crowds blurred around them as Rex pushed forward with slow, heavy determination. Mark kept pace, his eyes locked on the girl as the woman tugged her forward. Something wasn't right. Something was very wrong. Rex's breathing deepened, his nostrils flared, his tail stiffened into a straight line. Every instinct inside him screamed one message: danger, hidden, close. Mark watched carefully now. The woman's smile to another passerby was too forced. Her hand gripping the girl's arm was too tight. And the girl tapped again. 5 taps. Mark knew those taps. Every officer knew them. It was a modern rescue signal taught in schools, online safety guides, and survival manuals. A silent coded cry children used when they couldn't speak. A call for help. Rex let out a deep, heavy growl that made 2 nearby travelers turn their heads. The woman's shoulders flinched. She turned sharply, her eyes darting toward Rex with a flash of fear, then quickly masked with a polite smile. "Is there a problem, officer?" she asked, voice smooth but trembling around the edges. Mark took a slow breath. "My partner seems concerned." Rex took another step forward, pulling so hard Mark had to tighten his grip to stay balanced. And then it happened. The little girl's eyes met Rex's, not Mark's, not the crowd's. Rex's. And in that one fleeting moment, her expression changed. She didn't show fear. She showed relief. Her lips parted as silent words formed. "Help us." And Rex erupted. One sharp bark, loud, commanding, echoing through the terminal like thunder. The kind of bark that ended conversations. The kind that made people step back. The kind that marked the beginning of truth. "The bag that should never be opened, Rex Heel," Mark commanded, but the dog didn't move. He stood planted in front of the woman, chest forward, ready not to attack, but to protect. Travelers stopped, cameras lifted, gasps spread in ripples. The woman's calm demeanor shattered for a split second. "Control your dog," she snapped, pulling the children closer. Rex growled not at her, but at the bag slung over her shoulder. Mark felt his stomach drop. "Ma'am," he said carefully, "I'm going to need to take a look inside your bag." Her reaction was instant. A jump, a flinch, a step back. "No," she spat. "You have no right." Rex barked again, louder, sharper, the bark of a dog who already knows the ending while humans are still trying to understand the beginning. The little girl flinched, but not from fear. From hope. Mark raised his hand. "Security, I need assistance." 2 officers approached quickly. "Ma'am," he repeated, voice firmer now. "Please, set the bag down." Her trembling intensified. "Please," she whispered. "You don't understand." Rex growled deeper. Mark saw at the moment the woman knew she was caught. Her hand slowly lowered the bag onto the table. An officer unzipped it. Crowd silent. "What?" Mark holding his breath. Rex staring, unblinking. Inside the bag, clothes, snacks, a blanket, and then a taped phone. Multiple passports, photo IDs, a thin envelope. Mark opened it, and photos spilled out. Children. Different places. Different clothing. Different faces. One pattern, the same woman. Gasps echoed. The girl whimpered. The woman closed her eyes as if surrendering to a truth she could no longer outrun. Rex took 1 step closer, because he already knew. This was no misunderstanding. It was the beginning of something darker, something he was born to stop.